In this quick video guide, I want to show you how you can create a sculpting brush using Gimp and then how to use it in a 3D software. Now, for this video, I'm going to use Gimp, which is open source graphic design software, and Blender, which is open source for 3D modeling and sculpting and rendering. So we're going to start with creating the brush first. So first of all, we need to have an empty canvas here. So I'm going to go File, New, and I'm going to create a new document, a new image. And it doesn't needs to be too big. It can be, something like Full HD, like this. And this is already a lot. So I'm going to decrease the width size to 180. So we have 180 times 180. And let's just create the document. So at first it's going to be white, which is not really good to create a sculpting brush. So we turn this into black just by, well, we have many options, but I think the quickest way is to go to the bucket fill and choose here a background color. So usually you'll have like some settings like this, and you have, otherwise you can click here, set foreground color as black, background color to white, and with the foreground color we're gonna fill this to black. Now if you're having problems with Gimp, you have an entire video course in the channel, and also you will find courses and guides for Blender as well. Now all we need to do is to define what our sculpting brush will be. So depending on what we want to do, if we want to create scenes or if we want to create something more geometric and technical stuff, but I'm gonna do some really quick example here. So let's say that I want to just paint out here some drawing, and I want to use a standard brush, nothing particular. So I'm going to reset everything. This is the standard brush. I'm going to switch and use the white as a foreground color, check the size. I'm just going to create a cross like this, which could be used for seams or sewing and things like that. But it's just an example, a quick example that everyone can do. You can create your own graphic design, whatever you have in mind. You have a lot of tools here in Gimp and create any type of effect. So just create a black and white image. Remember that white will be the extruded image and the black will be the non-extruded part when you will be sculpting. And also remember that you can change the hardness here. So if you decrease the hardness, you will have like a softer brush. If you increase the hardness, you will have something more sharp, so something pretty sharp. I'm going to decrease the hardness actually. I want to create something softer like this. Now when you're ready, you can go to File and export this, and you can save it however you want. I'm going to export this here in a folder called Asset, and I'm going to call this Sculpting Brush Test 1. You can save PNG, you can save JPEG. Doesn't make the difference. So I think it's better JPEG because it's more complex. It's going to be less heavy than PNG, and then export. When we finish to export, choose a compression here, a quality. Let's make 100% and export. When you finish, you can go now in Blender. Now in Blender, the easiest way to test a brush, and we already created other videos about this, is to just jump into sculpting and remesh this cube in order to have more polygons. You need to have a lot of polygons. Right now we only have 6 polygons or faces. So to increase, we can go to remesh and click remesh. You can see we already have more polygons here, but if we want even more, we can say 0.01 as the voxel size and just remesh again. And there you go, we have a lot of voxels right now, which are similar to pixels in a way because they are little squares, little faces. Okay, now let's change the visualization from the wireframe to the standard solid, and let's use a brush. Now you can use the texture that we created in Gimp with all these different brushes. So let's say I want to use the layer. So you can see if I brush now with the layer, it's going to give you this result. It's going to sculpt with a kind of circle. So I can also just click once, or I can click and drag to create a stroke. Now if I go here, I can duplicate this. I will call this custom brush, and now all I need to do is to get the texture. inside here. So I'm gonna go down, search for texture, create new, click on this little button here for the texture tab. So I'm gonna click here, and now I am in the texture tab. Click on open, navigate into the folder where I stored the image. So in my case, it's in this folder here, and there's my X brush there. So I'm gonna open image. There you go. Now if I click and drag, you can see I can start to create my, well, this is kind of a pattern at the moment. So you can see it's repeating. So if you want to create something more like a stroke, let's go here and change the mapping from tile to view plane or aeroplane. And there you go. Now you can see they're pretty continuous. So to create something less continuous, we can change here in the stroke the spacing. So let's increase the spacing a little bit. Click and drag, and there you go. Now we have something more like scenes. We can even create more space, and we can also stabilize stroke if you want. And also, well, let's try with another type of, let's do like aeroplane, and do also rake, or we can adjust the angle. So you can see this is the lazy stroke, but it's too lazy right now. So the stabilization, it should be less. So let's click and drag. I think it should be even less than this. And I think the spacing also is too much. So you need to find the correct balance. And there you go. So you can see now it's also following the path. And this is one way, again, we can use sculpting brush. Now, if they look too sharp, you can always smooth out this. For example, you can go here into the mesh filter command and choose smooth, and just click and drag, and everything will be nice and smooth. Now we can also use other types of strokes. For example, one I like is anchor. So I click and drag, and I can create a smaller or bigger insertion. So you can see this is a single insertion. Or we can use also on the stroke here the drag dot. So I click and drag, and I can drag these around, and then I can find the position and then leave it. So this will be all for this video guide. If you like it, please join the channel, and also if you want to support us and thank us, you can join us as a supporter so that we can create more videos. If you're interested in Blender, you will find courses in Blender, and the same thing goes for Gimp. And also you can check other videos about sculpting in the character design video course. So give it a look, and this is gonna be it for this lesson, for this video. And thanks for watching, and see you in the next.